My presentation is about immune system, human immune system. The body has three lines of defense. The first two lines of defense are non-specific line of defense, while the third line of defense is a specific response. Non-specific defenses. They are defenses that are present from birth and are effective against a wide range of pathogens and foreign bodies. They do not differentiate one type of pathogen from another, but shows the same response to all pathogens in exactly the same way. The two lines of non-specific defenses are first line of defense. This is made up of physical and chemical barriers to prevent entry of pathogen into the human body. The skin acts as the first line of defense. Barrier to infection. The skin plays a major role as a barrier to infection. It forms part of the integumentary system and is made up of three layers, as can be seen in the figure below. The epidermis forms the outermost layer of the integumentary system and provides the first mechanical barrier against the internal environment in the form of a water protective coating. The epidermis also makes a substance called melanin, which gives the skin its color and protects it from getting burnt from the sun ultraviolet rays. Mucous membranes line the surfaces of the eyes, ears, nose, tongues, mouth, throat, gastrointestinal tracts, respiratory tracts, uterogenital tracts, and vaginal tracts, and are the primary interface between the external environment and the internal environment of the body. They are coated with secretions that fight microorganisms and from an effective defense against infections. Second line of defense. This is made up of a range of non-specific responses such as inflammation. This is psychological response to increase the white cells and count at the site of infection. Fever is an increase in body temperature aimed at inhibiting bacterial growth and making the immune system work faster. Phagocytes, e.g., macrophages, neutrophils. They are large white blood cells whose role is to engulf foreign material, and the enzyme inside the macrophages destroys the ingested particle. Some macrophages act as scavengers, removing dead or necrotic cells, while others protect host immunity by engulfing microbes. Complement protein. Complement proteins range of blood proteins which contribute to the breakdown and ultimate removal of pathogens from the body. Cytokines, small proteins that inhibit the production of viruses as well as having other functions. The third line of defense. This is known as acquired, adaptive, or specific immunity. Acquired immunity is not present at birth. It is learned. It is essentially a learned response from the body immune system, determining the best way to attack each antigen and begin to develop a memory for that antigen. It is called specific immunity because the immune system tailored its attack to a specific antigen that the body has previously encountered before it learned, adapt, and remembered. Immune system cells. Leukocytes, which are usually called white blood cells, are key element of the immune system and are cells involved in defending the body against infection and foreign bodies. There are 5 types of leukocytes, which are neutrophils. They are the first line to reach an infection. They are the first line to reach an infection area of the body and act by attaching to the wall of the blood vessels, which has the effect of attempting to block the access of the gene to the bloodstream through a cord. Lymphocytes. They play roles in humoral immune system, which is antibody production and make memory cells that remembers a previous infection by a specific pathogen. Monocytes. They turn the macrophages when they exit the bloodstream and do the job of phagocytosis of any type of dead cell in the body. Eosinophils. They work by releasing toxic from their granules to kill pathogens. They are important cells in relation to allergies and worm infestation. Basophils. They secrete anticoats, anticoagulants, and antibody that act against hypersensitivity reaction in the bloodstream. There are 2 types of lymphocytes, namely the T cell and B cell. The T cells play a role in the destruction of problem cells in the body, including cells infected with virus or cells with DNA damage. B cells, they play roles in antibody production, presenting antibodies to T cell and providing signal for T cell activation. Immunoglobulin, also called antibodies, are proteins that are bound to antigen in the body. In the human body, their use include removal of antigen, targeting an infection, recruitment of cells, neutralization of toxic, activation of immune cell, complete activation. They are made up of 4 chains as can be seen below. There are many types of immunoglobulins including immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin A, immunoglobulin M, and immunoglobulin E, and immunoglobulin D. Self-recognition. Immune system has ability to differentiate. Immune system has ability to differentiate between self and non-self cell in the body. Human cells usually display specific type of antigen which the immune system recognizes as being self and dealt with accordingly. When the immune system encounters the antigen of a red blood cell on the red blood cells on its surface, it will not attack it because it is recognized as self. But when the human immune system encounters an antigen that has not seen before, the adaptive immune system response will follow because it is recognized as known. Self-tolerance is a lack of immune response against the body's own tissue. This is because the body recognizes it as own tissue and safe and will not attack it. Rejection to transplant. So rejection to transplant organs. When an organ transplant is introduced to the body, the immune system recognizes it as foreign body and will attempt to attack and destroy it. This response by the immune system is known as rejection of transplanted organ. There are three types of rejection: hyperacute rejection, acute rejection, chronic rejection. The immune system disorder. The immune system disorder is a disorder caused abnormally low activity or overactivity of the immune system. Autoimmune diseases is due to overactivity of the immune system, resulting in attacking healthy cells in the body. Example: rheumatoid arthritis. The immune system produces antibody that attacks the joint, causing inflammation, swelling, and pain. This can lead to permanent damage of the joint. Can be treated by reducing the overactivity of the immune system. This is a healthy joint and rheumatoid arthritis joint. Multiple sclerosis. This is due to overactivity of the immune system and attacks the nerve cell, and the symptom can be muscle spasm, pain, poor coordination, blindness, weakness. It can be treated by using any drug that can reduce overactivity of the immune system. Acquired immunity. Acquired immunity. Acquired immunity develop in response to an infection or vaccination. This immunity might not be immediate, takes in the development, and lasts long, often lifelong, either by infection or vaccination exposes the body to a type of the pathogen, and when the next immune system encounters the pathogen, it recognizes it and attack it to prevent the body from getting sick. Active immunity is of two types: natural and artificial immunity. The natural active immunity, they develop naturally due to response to an infection. Artificial induced active immunity, they are acquired through vaccination. Passive immunity develop when the body receives immunity stroke antibody from someone or from somewhere else. The immunity is short-lived, often lasting only few days. They are of two types: natural passive immunity and artificial passive immunity. The natural passive immunity are received naturally from mother to a child through placenta, during pregnancy, and through breast milk few days after birth. Artificial passive immunity, they are like the immunoglobulin treatments. They are artificially they are artificially made in a lab to treat people who are sick, who are at risk of certain infection. They are injections or transfusion of somebody's antibody. Antibody. Vaccination. Explain the immune response to vaccination, including immunological memories, analyzing data to elevate the benefit of vaccination. Vaccination involve exposing the body immune system to weakened or harmless version of the pathogen in order to stimulate white blood cell to produce antibody with the intention of providing immunity against the specific pathogen. Immunological response. When the vaccine is injected into the body, they stimulate white blood cell to produce antibodies to fight the pathogen, which means that the vaccinated person is no longer in danger of developing the specific disease. When live vaccination is used, a relatively small dose of the or virus or bacteria is given, which replicates in the body and creates enough viruses stroke bacteria to simulate immune response. The immune response to a live vaccination is vertically identical to that produced by a natural infection, and the immune response is bordered as the antibody of live vaccine mimic a natural infection. The immune system does not differentiate between an infection with a weakened vaccine virus and an infection with a wild virus. Vaccine contain weakened or harmless version of a pathogen which is injected into a vaccinated person, and if the person later become infected with the pathogen, the required white blood cells are able to produce rapidly and destroy it. This is known as immunological memory. Benefit of vaccines. Benefits of vaccines and immunization help protect against serious diseases. Viral diseases cannot be cured with antibiotics and can only be controlled by immunization. Since 1940, measles has been known as a disease, has been a known disease in the UK, rising up in numbers every year and killing an average of 100 in a year. Since 1968, when measles vaccination was introduced in the UK, Public Health England estimated that 20,000 measles cases and 4,000 deaths has been averted in the UK. When most people in particular places are immune to infectious diseases, it provides indirect protection to those who are not immune to diseases, and this is the concept of herd immunity. This is a close link with vaccination, because with this concept of 80 to 90% of population is vaccinated against a virus, it will help keep the spread under control. Herd immunity does not protect from all vaccines preventable diseases. For instance, tetanus, which is infectious but not contagious. Vaccination program and the factors affecting vaccine uptake. Infectious diseases can be very serious for certain groups in the society, such as the very young, old, or disabled. If vaccination is available for a certain diseases, vaccinations will be part of an effective mode of controlling the spread and such diseases and their effect on the population. Some factors affecting vaccine uptake is the safety of the vaccines. Recently, there have been a number of or passive health scores regarding link between certain vaccination and the development of conditions. Example, MMR vaccine to cause autistic. Other factors affecting vaccine uptake include concern over side effect of effectiveness, religious belief, susceptibility, etc.
Finish.
Thank you. That's the end of my presentation. Thanks.